The president of the Nigerian Library Association, Dominic Omokaro, has called on the federal and state governments to urgently revitalize public libraries across the country, stressing the vital role in education and youth development. In a recent interview, Omokaro described library as an essential tool for learning, especially for individuals from disadvantaged backgrounds. He noted that access to quality library services can help bridge educational gaps and provide equal opportunities for all Nigerians.
The idea of a reading city is to identify a particular city where they want to promote readership. So coming to Abuja by the Association of Book Clubs, Network of Book Clubs and Readership Promoters in Nigeria is to easily galvanize the reading culture in Abuja, because we come to realize that of recent, people are no longer reading, and people are beginning to consider online activities than reading. They would rather be watching video, watching movies, or just listening to comedy. But one thing we know with the book city is that it is an avenue to galvanize interest in reading of the people of that city. So that is the idea. I think some time ago, 2014, Port Harcourt was declared the book capital of the world, book city of the world. So when Amechi was governor, and that also helped in government helping to promote reading. Because we think that reading remains the best avenue to engage youth and adults so that they are not in that state of what we call an idle mind is an idle workshop, or the devil's workshop. So that is what I think we want to achieve with the book city. Abuja needs that presence, and again, you should also know that Abuja is the capital of Nigeria. The project we have in Abuja of the National Library will also tell you that we are not giving enough attention to readership, and we are not giving enough attention to the value the library brings to development. Because if, as a nation, and we want to lead, and like I tell people very often, you know, it's only leaders that read. And if you want to be a leader, you must be a reader. So for you to be able to get to that stage where they say Nigeria is a country reckoned with, we must begin to have people that read and leaders that read. They just don't lead, but they are also reading. And that also helps them in determining and giving them that leverage to give their good decisions based on researches that they have done. If you look at a capital city like Abuja, that houses the president, that houses all the ministers of the federation, without any edifice called the beautiful library. The National Library complex that has been left there for close to 30, 40 years. Nobody has said anything about it. And we need to draw attention to it. And that was why, if you listen to my goodwill message at that occasion, I said they should allow the Minister of Health to drive it. Because he actually needs to drive it. Because if a club is doing it or an association is doing it, government don't take it serious. But when you get government involved, they will begin to understand that this is their product, this is their game, this is their, how do we say it now, this is what they should be doing. Because if there's anybody that is going to promote literacy, it should be government. Our parents did that for us when we were growing up. And after that, who runs the educational system? There's no amount of education that our parents can give to us that will be compared to the government, you know, creating the enabling environment for schools to strive. We've seen a good progress in the increase in our educational institutions, but does it relate to reading? Because we also have a lot of Nigerians who are literate. Do you understand? You know, an illiterate person is somebody who can read, but does not have interest in reading. So the Abuja city is targeted at drawing attention to reading again. When people ask me this question, I tend to be very careful what I say. Why do I say so? Because our generation and the generation ahead of us failed this country. And it's a sad one. Why do I say so? Because most of us, whoever we are today, or whatever we have become today, is the benefit we enjoyed from education. Do you understand? But with time, we lost that value. Nobody is talking about hard work anymore. Nobody is talking about reading. I grew up in a place where the consciousness is, if you read your book, you'll be a big man. But today, the youth of today, all they see is money. Because to them, money answers all things. So we as leaders, we as parents, we all failed in that aspect. And why did we fail? Because we did not follow what our parents did. I don't want to sound immodest when I say that most of the first generation leaders of Nigeria were people from agrarian homes, farmers, uneducated people, sent their children to school. They knew the importance of school. They were very conscious of it. If you go to Ekiti State, where you have the largest number of professors, go and check those professors. Their parents were farmers, cocoa farmers. Hard work was the value they imbibed on those children. But what are we imbibing today? Somebody came out, one of those musicians came and said education is a scam. And everybody bought into it. Because the idea is go and make money. If you have money, everything will fall in place. And that is why today it will surprise you to note that everyone in this country today, outside those who have gainful employment or those who believe still in the spirit of hard work, they are going to money rituals. And it's a sad one. Because to them, the end justifies the means. So whatever you have, just use it, get what you want, everything comes to place. To the extent that you get children telling you that even if it is for 5 years, why are we not complaining when you see 17 years old boy building house for his father or mother? Where did he get the money from? Buying G-Wagon for the mother or the father, where did he get the money from? What are they doing? You understand? So we, as a generation, we failed in our responsibilities. So that is the cause. So what is the way forward? Let us go back to where our parents started us from. And what is the going back? Let's go back to reading. Let's go back to the ideals of hard work, dedication, loyalty, and honesty. That's the only remedy. Outside that, we'll continue to deteriorate as a nation and as a people. And it's not helping us. Because at times, personally, I just think that where is our humanity? Where you see a child wanting to use the father or mother for ritual. You see a father wanting to use his wife or children for ritual. And they are saying, instead of this poverty to continue, let us kill one. But it's appalling. So, and I think we as leaders should also, and you, media houses, you also need to help us in this campaign. Because it's becoming scary. It is becoming very scary. I tell my children very often, I say, when we were growing up, the community trained us. Who is the community training the child of today? All of us are saying, oh, the suffer I suffer, I don't want my son or my child to suffer it. That is why today, child will go to school, misbehave, a teacher will beat that child, the parents will go and beat the teacher. In our days, our neighbors were our parents outside our home. Because when you are misbehaving and you just see a known face, you run. You'll be praying that this uncle will not go and tell my mother, this uncle will not go and tell my dad. Everybody had interest in everybody's child. When the school is vacating, you will see all those elders seated in front of the house. They know the day of vacation. And when you are coming, if you are smiling, they say, hey, that one don't pass. This one, oh, you don't fail. Yeah, wait, let me see your report card. You know, there's a way they mold you in that aspect. Next time you'll be serious to read. But who is doing that today? A child will tell you, are you my dad? Are you my mom? Why are you talking to me anyhow? And this is terribly bad. We need to go back to how we started. They were not educated, but they were very good upbringing that they give to their children.
I want us to narrow down
this, and will continue to advocate. And now our advocacy still targets at government, because most of the libraries today are government owned or institutional based, and very few individuals have private libraries that are accessible to the people. One of the things I've come to realize since my tenure began was that government does not see value attached to the library in terms of naira and kobo, because investing in the library will not generate the income they are looking for. But one thing they are failing to know is that every investment in a library is preparing somebody for your economic growth, because that person, the public library is his university. What he cannot afford privately, he can get it in the library. So the moment you take away the public university from the people, which is the library, what you are doing a disservice to your economy. Because it is from there you will see those who become your doctors, your engineers, your lawyers. But because government cannot quantify it in terms of naira and kobo, so they don't want to promote it. We've been talking to state governments, we've been talking to federal government to see how they can look at the contribution of libraries to their human capital development. Because without the human capital, who do you get to drive your economy? Who is going to be your manufacturer? So you must first of all invest in your human capital. But we pray and we hope that government will begin to understand this. We've been shouting it, we've been talking, and we are also believing God that one day Nigeria will be liberated. Some of us, when we travel out and you go to countries like Australia and you see their public library system, you want to read. And you are looking at that country compared with Nigeria. In terms of wealth, they have more money than us. All they just have is good administrators and better management system. I think I'll just say this, and I hope somebody hears us when we say this kind of thing. One of the things we realized with our leaders, and especially those who occupy government position, is that they tend to ignore pressure groups, associations that come with good ideas. Most times you write government letters, they don't respond to you. So the only way we can advocate and the only way we can talk is using the platform of the media. And that has been our strategy. We also use the platform of our conferences. We've been holding conferences. We are holding one in Benin this year, which is going to take, we're going to be in Benin from July 6th to July 11th. We're all discussing all our conferences. We submit communiques to government, but nobody takes advantage of it. We also did, and which I think we did that about 2 years ago when we started advocating that there's a need to have a special advisor to the president on library and information services. Somebody whom the president can easily see, presenting memos and all those things to him. I've had occasion to see the secretary to government. We've advocated this. We've tried to see ministers. We've advocated this. So those are strategies we've put in place. But like I always say, we still need the media to help us and promote it, because somebody is not listening, somebody is not hearing. So we keep repeating ourselves until somebody now understands that, oh, these people are really for sure. But one of the things is we need to change the narrative. We need to change the narrative. And how do we change the narrative? Is to let people know the value of libraries. The library is the university of the poor. It is only in the library that people can have access to the resource information materials they need. Otherwise, if you go to the university and you don't have the money for the materials, how will you even cope? I know people in this country today that occupy position of leadership. They didn't go to university. Many of them didn't go to university. They studied, self-study. And what does the library do for you? The library gives you opportunity for lifelong study. It gives you that opportunity to be creative. It gives you that opportunity to do self-study. And in your self-study, you improve yourself. You know people, I don't know how many of you know Lagos. There used to be a National Library, I don't know if it's still there now, at about Macaulay Way in Yaba. We call that area Sabo, where Road Park is good. That library, a lot of us did, we read there to pass WAEC. We know people that read there that did GC, they didn't go to university, did A-levels, went abroad. They are leaders in this country today. This boy, this young senator, sorry to use the word boy, Nwoye, is a very young man. Nwoye went to Onitsha Public Library sometime last year and he wept. Why was he weeping? Because that was the library that shaped him. It has so deteriorated to the extent that books are obsolete, the basic structure is gone, decaying. Do you understand? And if you come from that background where you know where you are coming from, and you remember that this was the library that we used to come and read, oh, do you understand? But you are in position of leadership today. What have they done?